Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of the INNsider Gaming News Talk Show. I'm here with some new people today. House Hendo, So Plebs joining us for the first time, and Kid Tutu. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Man, we got a lot of news this week. Well, I mean, every week is a lot of news. It's just a lot of different news. Some of the stuff we talked about last week was the Twitch drama and random stuff that was going on there, and changes. Well, not necessarily drama, but changes coming up. This week we've got a lot of cool stuff coming from basically Twitch, and then game delays, like lots and lots of game delays for some reason. It's pretty wild. We're going to get going with some of our usual topics this week. The big stuff that's going on right now is the game shortcomings. We got Ubisoft's blunders we're going to talk about. Also some PlayStation delays, which are kind of saddening. The meme that has become WWE 2K20. The other one with, of course, the mixer moves we were talking about, BlizzCon, or BlizzCon Watch for basically 2019, of course. And then our top story of the day is going to be talking about the failure of Fallout 76, which never ceases to amaze me at this point. But let's get started with some of the stuff we've been playing this week. What have you guys been playing? Tutu, go for it.
It's been a crazy week for me. I've had a lot of time down from school, so I got to play a lot of the new games. I played Modern Warfare, the new one, which is really cool. I really like. It feels more tactical, a bit slower pace, but time to kill is really crazy fast, compared to other Call of Duty that I remember playing. So it's a little bit weird and hard to get used to. The one thing I would say I have a problem with the game is the maps are just kind of bland and boring. There's only one map that I really like. It's one I don't know what it's called, but it's you're in a desert setting and there's a tunnel and an outside part. That's really cool. It's really cool to kind of go in the tunnel and kind of catch people off guard. So there's a lot of ways to flank on that map. But the other maps are just kind of they look beautiful. They all look beautiful, but there's just nothing it doesn't really give you that feeling of the old school Modern Warfare maps. I really hope that they bring back some of the legacy maps. But it's really fun right now. I think only time will tell how the longevity of this game will be, and I really hope that the devs continue to update it, bring new maps, bring the legacy maps back, new weapons and stuff like that. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I played probably 3 hours of it, so not that much time. But I'll definitely play more today. And the other game that I've played that is honestly a contender for my personal game of the year would be the Outer Worlds. It's just fan-freaking-tastic. The first night I played it, I stayed up so late just exploring, and it's everything Fallout should be today, in my honest opinion. Just the characters, the story, the world, the weapons, everything about it is just freaking fantastic.
They did do Fallout New Vegas. They're the developers of the second best Fallout game that is in existence now, next to Fallout 3 probably.
Yeah, they worked on like the original OG Fallout games and Fallout New Vegas. There's definitely a
Yes.
lot of like New Vegas flavors in this one. Like you can kind of make choices that'll affect the story and things like that. It's so dope.
Nice. So pleb, what about you?
I've been playing a Kickstarter game that actually just released called Lonely Mountains Downhill. It's
Oh yeah,
pretty
I've seen that.
interesting. So essentially, it's a BMX style, or not BMX, but like off-road biking, like bicycle down a mountain. Pretty nice.
Yeah, it's
And
kind of like almost like almost seems parts of it seem like Minecraft-y a little bit, like the rounded characters and stuff, or almost squarish characters.
it's definitely like low polygon for graphics, for sure. But I mean, it's pretty good all together. Really put together. Very much improvement over the initial like alpha that they sent us in the Kickstarter.
Nice.
Doing StarCraft 2 always.
Oh, StarCraft 2, man, that's an old favorite.
Got WCS going on, so I mean, nice to watch every now and then.
Oh yeah. And what about you?
Well, of course, I've still been playing that browser game, Prosperous Universe, but I delved into Destiny 2 with my recent amount of free time. And I spent about 20 hours in it over the past 2.5 days. And I played all 3 Yeah, I played the main campaign and both expansions. I beat them all, and I took all my characters from level 200 to they're all over 800. My Warlock, my Titan, and my Hunter. I decided to go OP on it because you guys were like, "Oh, it's free to play. Give it another shot, Hendo." So I was like, "No, let me jump in this." And while I'd say I didn't really find difficulty, but I still died a lot. I don't know if it's kind of weird.
Oh, you will. You definitely
Like it wasn't difficult to play, but I died a lot.
Yeah.
So kudos to Destiny 2. And also I played Twitter M1 yesterday. That was great.
Oh, nice. I've been actually diving a lot into Destiny myself. This week, I mean, I haven't had as much time as I usually do, or have.
Yeah, I haven't played Shadowkeep yet, but as far as
Shadowkeep's good. It's not one of their better story-based expansions, and it's still like the rest is TBD. But if you keep an eye on what they're doing in the tower, every week something's changing in the tower, and we started realizing that last week.
Yeah, I noticed that last night.
My only thing with Destiny is like it's so fun like leveling up like initially once you get to that soft cap, and then after that soft cap it just kind of like halts. You have to like really grind it out to get past it, and it's like
once you get to 800 it is grind because you only get like points.
Well, it's 900 is the soft cap.
Well, yeah. So,
okay.
So when you get Shadow
800 to me
because you're when you get Shadowkeep it'll go up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how? Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was okay.
Okay, yeah. Right now, the soft cap for me seems to be the 800s because
that was the cap back then.
Hours.
So it goes to 850.
Well, I haven't grabbed Shadowkeep yet. I just played the original base and the 2 expansions. Yeah. Which the expansions were a definite improvement because that's the reason why I stopped playing Destiny 2 because I didn't like the main campaign. I thought it was a little silly.
It was.
But the stuff with Osiris and the Anna Bray stuff from Rasputin, that was dope. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, Destiny 2 has definitely been one of the other ones. I got to play a little bit of COD this week, and I do agree. There's some of these maps that are toned down, but I think that's actually trying to come back to realism. Like they're definitely sticking to the boots on the ground thing. No, boost jumping over random stuff and that stuff. And the time to kill way shorter than it was before.
Yeah.
Some of the maps I wish were bigger though. That's my only thing. Some of the maps
some of the maps are big though. Some of the
ground war maps are crazy. It really reminds me of like Battle.
Yeah, I'm talking like IO and Titan just seemed a little less.
No, we're not talking about Destiny right now. I'm talking about COD.
Oh, we went over the COD. Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't see the transition. I did not see the transition. My bad.
No. So So COD, like the maps, some of the maps on it are really big, and then there's a couple of them that are like small, but not intentionally small. It's because where the play area where you're forced to play is like small, basically. Yeah. Like you could go exploring. Like there's one of these maps you go through like the tunnels and like the subway train under the city, and you could kind of like flank the enemies from doing that. And there's like some little cool little knickknacks like that. But man, COD, like the new COD is actually pretty good. Like I actually like it a lot more than the arcadey feel of
Black Ops.
Black Ops felt too arcadey to me, but this one feels way better. Yeah. And plus, like you're not sitting there like literally running a whole clip into somebody before they die and the stupid armor stuff and everything else. Like then you go on the opposite end of this. Now there's like no armor, no nothing. You literally just shoot people, and they're like. You go with your FAMAS, which is one of the guns you get in the start. Bam, like 2 bursts, done. maybe even one burst if you
Yeah.
hit him in the head, basically. Like there's a couple times I was like, I got killed all super quick, and I watched the kill cam, and I'm like, he couldn't have got me. I'm like, oh, he got me in the head. That was just a FAMAS three bullets to the head. Now
Yeah.
that's all it took. All right, let's do it.
It's fun. Like Ground War, I was saying, it reminds me a lot of Battlefield, like more than ever with this one. I think just because it's like the modern setting and it really helps it. But it's crazy. It's like an all-out war. It's amazing. I really
Yeah, I'm digging it. So far, I'm digging it. I want to actually see if we can get some people together and play this after the show.
yeah, it'd be fun.
Unless somebody's throwing me a game key, it's not gonna be me.
Yeah, same.
Getting into the news for today, we're going to start with some of the game company shortcomings and delays. We got a lot of stuff in this category. So we're going to start with Ubisoft. Ubisoft has been actually a fan favorite up until the last two releases, I think. Well, until the last release. So the CEO admits that Ghost Recon Breakpoint sold a lot less than expected. I think they said something like, I think it was like 45%. They didn't give us exact numbers. They gave kind of like a rough overall. And it sold probably half of what they originally wanted it. Now, I don't know if they're taking into account the fact that a lot more people can play with Uplay Plus, which is, it came out with this game. I have a feeling that's really the biggest thing, and I don't know if they're counting that or if they're including those numbers of people who have downloaded and played the game. Like for me, for example, I didn't buy Breakpoint. I just played on Uplay Plus because it's $15 a month. Why not?
Yeah, see.
But they're also complaining about similar things with Division 2. Now, Division 2 met almost their expectations. It wasn't quite as bad as Breakpoint. They consider Breakpoint a failure at this point, which, to be honest, like I think even Wildlands was a failure at the beginning, if I'm not mistaken. Like it sold way less than they originally thought because it broke away from, it went to games as a service versus a single player game with multiplayer components. Kind of like, your traditional, it used to be your Ghost Recon game. It's kind of like how Siege or Rainbow Six is not, a squad-based shooter anymore. It's a squad-based shooter and PvP only, pretty much. I mean, they got some PvE modes, but it's changed entirely as a game, IP too.
Yeah.
But with that, they actually ended up delaying almost all of their games coming up this coming year. So Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Gods and Monsters, all pushed to late 2020 or early 2021. They haven't announced official dates yet, which I have a feeling we're going to get a reassessment probably by the time of E3 is my guess. I don't know.
I personally don't see like an issue with this because I've been always saying that these games get rushed too often.
Yeah.
So delays and pushbacks, I kind of like hearing because at least then I feel like they're spending a couple extra months in that dev room.
Well, in this case, it's like almost a year for some of them. Like, I mean, at the same time, you think about it, Watch Dogs Legion and Rainbow Six Quarantine were both slated to come out the first 3 months of next year, which is great because now we're like, companies are finally realizing this and they're delaying out of the spring quarter, which is amazing. We've already got 3-4 games that were in March now, all pushed out, which is good. So it's lightened the load a little bit from March. But I don't know, like, I don't remember who in our team got to play Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Did you get to play it yet, Tutu?
Yeah, I played it.
What do you think of Breakpoint?
It was okay. I think I was I was one of those that kind of like I played it and I enjoyed what I played, but like looking at it like like all the reviews and stuff, and then like actually like thinking about the time I played, I was like, and there's so many other games out that are better and do things better than Breakpoint, so I don't think I'll ever like revisit it. But yeah, it was okay. I really like the what do you call the skill tree that they had, like was really, really cool. But I'm not sure like how that helps like late game or end game or whatnot. I'm still interested in seeing how the raids do. I might like come back to the game once they implement the raids and stuff like that. But we'll see. There's too many games.
That's my problem. It's too many games. Don't get me wrong. I actually really enjoyed the time I played in it, but the monetization stuff, like obviously that played a big factor. I mean, if anybody's going to tell you anything about any game that's going to fail anymore, it's definitely going to be the fact that people do not like monetization in their games. Like, especially the type or you pay to win features, especially pay to win features are like the biggest no-no anymore. Like Breakpoint apparently had, and it wasn't even launch day they had it either. It got put in a few days after launch, which is when I had already stopped playing it by that point. And they had the skill point boosters and the XP boosters, and I'm like, that doesn't work in a live service game. Come on, guy. Like, what the fuck? So somebody could have literally went and bought a bunch of packs of skill points and completely filled out their tree without even leveling, which would have sucked. Like PvP wise, like if they had an ability that you couldn't get a hold of, like that would have been some junk.
Breakpoint was also one of those games with like the staggered launch, which I really hate that. I don't get why developers or companies do that.
Because the Ultimate Edition gets it first.
The early access. Yeah, so stupid.
Also Absolutely. With launches, I think Ubisoft is playing smart too, because too often with FPS is they all release around the same time. So it's oversaturation. So people only grab like 1 or 2 of the titles out of 7 that get released. I think Ubisoft's like, no, we need to start releasing competitively, not on the same day.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like that famous Shigeru Miyamoto quote where he says like a delayed game is eventually good, but a bad game is bad forever. So
yeah,
this is only going to lead to good things hopefully for Ubisoft and their slate of games.
Hopefully, I mean, I would like to see them improve a little bit for sure. Like I mean, I don't get me wrong. Like I was actually to the point where I'm like, I was really happy with Ubisoft. Like they're really good. They're actually really good. And then all of a sudden, like. Yeah, Division 2 was good. Like, don't get me wrong. I played a shit ton of Division. I played that for weeks and weeks and weeks. And basically, I got to the level cap, started getting to the point where I was rating, got to World Tier 5, all that fun stuff. But it also was kind of, it makes you question, like, is it getting to the point where people are getting on the whole, like, games as a service fatigue? Is that starting to happen now because there's so many games as a service coming out?
I think it's that, and also like Ubisoft, you remember when like the whole Far Cry syndrome back in the day, like where every game had like Far Cry elements in it, and they kind of backed off from that, and then that's when they started to get good again. But lately, it's like all their games are starting to blend in with each other again. And that's the problem with like Breakpoint. It doesn't have like its own identity at all.
No, and it's because they've kind of taken the Ghost Recon identity and thrown it in the trash, at least from what it used to be. I mean, it used to be a tactical, like silent, go through, sneak through and do your thing, kind of like Sam Fisher, but on a squad level. But yeah, it's definitely not the same. And especially when you have Division that came out in the same year, and if you look at them side by side, apples to apples, and played it, they're almost the same. Like the only difference is the skill tree on one and the skills and specializations on the other side. Like but it's like literally like copies of each other, but in different ways.
Yeah, that's something else I noticed when I played. Like I was saying, like this feels a lot like the Division. Like it's a weird game, interesting weird game. But I look forward to it's good that some good is coming out of this bad. At least we'll hopefully have good Ubisoft games down.
Oh yeah, I mean I still have faith in Watch Dogs Legion. I'm still really interested in playing that. The previous Watch Dogs games, I liked both of them, even though people didn't like 2 for whatever reason. Gods of Monsters also looks really good, and of course Rainbow Six Quarantine, which we got a taste of in Rainbow Six Siege when they did that special Halloween event last year, which was actually really fun.
They have another one this year. I want to try it.
Looks fun. Yeah, the new Halloween event. Yeah. But yeah, I think Hendo, I think you got the next one.
I do. Hold on. Which one is the next one?
PlayStation.
I did not minute. Oh, okay. Sorry. Hey, wait. Are you sure the next one's on me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Giving it to you. Got your name on it.
I was looking at the wrong note. And I left a bunch of check marks in there. My bad. Oh, we got The Last of Us Part 2. That cliffhanger we were all left on in the original Last of Us is now coming out. We're getting it done.
What?
You guys heard?
It's delayed.
Did you guys?
It got delayed.
Yeah. It got delayed, but it's coming out, and it's probably going to be decent now.
Well, I mean, I fully expect Last of Us Part 2 to be pretty good, but it's PlayStation also delayed Ghosts of Tsushima, which also kind of makes me sad. Like both of them, I mean, yet again, that's another Last of Us Part 2 was a late February.
Yeah.
Release.
It's been delayed to May 29th now. May 29th, 2020.
are some things that Ghost of Tsushima on its Japanese release wasn't doing so well, so I think that's why they went back on its release on the US to fix the issue.
It's not out yet.
No, I don't think it's out
came
yet.
out in Japan.
Ghost of
No,
Tsushima?
it's not out yet.
No, it's not out yet.
Okay, I think that was alpha footage I was watching then.
Maybe, probably. Yeah,
But Ghost of Tsushima was originally supposed to be slated for like that spring, summer date, and that's why they pushed it back because they don't want The Last of Us to compete with Ghost of Tsushima. So, which makes sense. Maybe that could mean Ghost of Tsushima is a PS5 game. We'll see. I linked. Jason Schreier said that it probably won't be, but it could be. He said don't expect it, but it could be a PS5 game. I figure why not. If they have the resources, if they could do it, but we'll see.
We're definitely going to see a big shift in games this year because it's like the end of the current era is dwindling down now, and then we're also going to see games kind of shifting into the new era of consoles.
Yeah, I assume next fall we'll see like games releasing like both on current gen and next gen as well, like how we saw with current gen when it came.
Yeah, and rereading Druckmann's statement. From what I've seen here, I've read a few statements from directors on delays. Recent weeks we've had quite a few, and I'm going to say this: I think what's going on is the boardrooms are giving creative control back to the dev teams, because I see a lot of talk in this about vision and about compromises. I feel like what's going on with these delays, from the wording I'm seeing from a lot of these teams, is that creative control has come back to the teams.
Yeah, especially with
it's no
PlayStation.
Yeah, because this doesn't feel like somebody's pushing a deadline. It feels like somebody just pushed back a deadline on them.
Yeah,
it sounds like a. This is like 4 or 5 paragraphs of relief I'm hearing from this guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
PlayStation's got money. They don't care. So they're willing to let their devs have more time.
Oh wait, is Ghost of Tsushima also Naughty Dog?
No, Ghost of Tsushima is Sucker Punch.
Oh,
but that was originally slated for that time slot where The Last of Us is right now. So that's why they decided to delay that as well.
It's weird because they're kind of tying these two together, but why? Is it just?
It's because of The Last of Us delay is why Ghost of Tsushima got delayed.
Well, that's what I mean. But why are Ghost of Tsushima waiting? Is it based? I mean, is there something connecting the two?
It's just because they're two big PlayStation IPs, and they don't want them to compete essentially. So.
Okay. So Ghost of Tsushima didn't decided to push it anyway, just because they were moving and they didn't want to compete in the same area. But even though they don't have an actual date, it looks like.
They took notes from Radio Shack.
Took notes from Radio Shack.
Let's not open up locations across the street from each other, guys. It might be counterproductive.
Yeah, right. Oh, Tutu. I want to hear all about this meme, this new living meme.
Alrighty. So
this Reddit's extended.
This about me. I'm a big wrestling fan, WWE fan, AEW fan. So this week this week WWE 2K20 launched, and man, it is an absolute garbage fire. So if you didn't hear, WWE 2K20, it went through kind of like development hell. The original developer Yuke has been working on the game or the games period for the past 20 years, and they just left the company kind of like mid-development. So it was up to 2K to kind of fix it in-house, and they really did. So there's this hilarious thread on Reddit, and also like the day it released, there's a hashtag like fix WWE 2K20 that was trending for like hours and hours. And there's this hilarious thread that kind of compiles a bunch of these glitches and bugs within the game. And it's crazy because like there's like this famous one of like this girl, she's like twirling her hair around, and it looks like almost like her hair is dead. It's like really just stiff and wooden, and like there's a lot of images comparing the past WWE 2K games to this one. And this one, like, it legit looks like a PS2 era game. It looks awful.
Yeah, we were seeing a little bit of the
SmackDown's back.
Oh, dude, no, it's even worse than that. Like SmackDown looks good compared to this.
Dude, we saw one because like the graphics looked worse, of course, back in that era, but the textures were like even better than this game. Like just like the detail was even better in this game, which is crazy. Like this game is just...
Are you telling me the Dudley brothers from like 2002 look better?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure.
Like a PS3 era game looks better than this.
It lacks like detail. It lacks just the graphical power. It's a mess.
Who's in charge of the IP for WWE?
It's 2K. 2K Games.
Oh,
Yeah,
so they have full creative control of it?
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a
McMahon would
long
throw some flash on this.
This Reddit post is like a long laundry list of things that are so bad.
It's worth it to just go through and just click and look at the stuff because it's hilarious.
I feel like a lot of the gaming news websites we go to needs to take note from this. This is a detailed article.
Yeah,
this is well sourced, linked out. PC Gamer, Eurogamer, all you guys take notes, please.
It's stuff like the game can crash if you try and import custom attires on other wrestlers. Music is incorrectly labeled. It's like the weirdest stuff. Sometimes you get multiple versions of wrestlers like showing up in the ring. It's a lot.
Well, what's even better is one of them I saw. It was the player picked another wrestler, but the same wrestler of the first player showed up.
Yeah,
like, with the name of the second wrestler, which is like, wait, like what?
I'm looking at some of the Twitch clips. This is like crap and Uncanny Valley at the same time.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How do you pull that off? Like
it's not even a beta. It's not even an alpha of the game.
Rope. I saw a clip of Booker T touching the ropes, and he wasn't touching the ropes. Like,
one of the funniest ones I saw the other day when I saw the clips for it was one guy was pinning him down, and then the character model for the guy that was pinning him down was hitting the edges of the ring and going like this, like repeatedly.
Yeah, you shared that one to me. That was crazy.
I was like, what the hell is this? Like, how could it be this bad?
I'm sorry. I just watched the clip of No Gravity with the Hardy brothers, and it was the funniest flop I've ever seen in my life. What the hell?
What about the character that's just like Spider-Man climbing in the air, just like wall grip, and then just jumps off?
Dude, I just saw a Hardy brother try jumping off a steel cage, clipping back a couple feet, and hitting the corner and flopping like a fish.
Or here you go. I'll post this in the chat. You're gonna find this one pretty funny too. Like, oh my god.
So 2K responded to this controversy, and they put out a post on Twitter and their official Twitter account saying, "We are listening closely to the feedback that's been shared regarding WWE 2K20 and are aware of the concerns some players are reporting. We're working hard to investigate these concerns and address them as necessary. We expect to have an initial patch ready in the next 2 weeks."
2K.
Weeks.
2K. You don't need to listen to playback. Watch the damn clips.
Yeah.
It's obvious. You don't need player feedback for this.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what this patch does, because it just seems like this game is just completely broken, like at its core. So I don't know. 2K, man.
I'm watching the clip of the referee being all like fucked up by the female wrestlers. It's just so good. It's so bad, it's good. And he's sitting there looking like he's shaking and everything else.
Yeah.
And then the gal goes and she's like holding next to him, like praying. It looks like she's praying to him, and he's sitting there shaking and falling to the ground. My God. It's terrible.
I'm looking at some of the camera work clips. This is like worse than the episode 1 game for PS1. What the hell is this?
Oh yeah, no, it's
like Obi-Wan Kenobi going through ducks.
It's uber bad. It's uber bad. Snipes, welcome, buddy. Oh my God.
Yeah, he's going Snipes.
The great thing about this game is that we get all these crazy videos and memes and stuff. So that's a
oh yeah.
I'm watching the most painful clip of this camera work, and it's like my dream match. It's Kurt Angle versus The Undertaker, and it's making me like physically hurt.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's super bad. So going on to some of the big stuff this week. Mixer is really pushing for some big streamers right now. So this week, Mixer alone has already pulled Shroud, and as announced as of 2 hours ago, King Goliathan is actually moving over to Mixer. And there's speculation of probably up to three other streamers possibly making the jump to Mixer in the next few weeks, and I think some of it is being teased a little bit here and there. But what do you guys think this means for Mixer going forward? I mean, they've already pulled Ninja, they've got Shroud, they've got King Goliathan, which was actually a surprising one. That was legitimately surprising. Same with Shroud, really. But I mean, Shroud has no real ties to Twitch as itself. Like, he doesn't have exclusive deals. Like, and when I say exclusive deals, it's in the terms of like Nick Merckx and Tim the Tapman. You know, they have their Thursday Night Football thing where they're announcing that. Like, what do you guys think of like Shroud and King Goliathan making the move to Mixer?
I get why they're doing it, of course. You know, to bring more eyes over to Mixer. But I wonder if they realize like exactly what they're doing, because both of these guys are like really proficient in FPS games, and you know, Mixer is kind of always like catered to that crowd, like FPS, battle royale, stuff like that. And this move is just going to make it like even more about FPS and battle royale games, and like the other games are just going to kind of die out. I feel like over on Mixer.
Well,
yeah, I feel like Mixer is specializing too. But so is Twitch in a way. They're going more towards the social aspect of streaming. I feel like the streaming networks are just like all like the streaming sites are just all like trying to find their own niche to stream right now.
Yeah, I mean, if that's where they succeed, right? You know, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is true, and that is definitely where they're succeeding right now. But I mean, like for the other content creators that do like more variety stuff, that's kind of like not really great. I mean, of course, it brings more eyes, but to me, it brings more eyes just to those FPS games, just to those streamers, not necessarily like the platform as a whole.
Yeah, like King Goliathan, I think in this regard is a little different than the other, and then Shroud and Ninja. Like obviously, Shroud focuses exclusively on battle royales for the most part, and then some multiplayer shooters like COD and stuff like that, right? But King Goliathan is a little bit different in this case. He actually focuses on the looter shooters. Like he's almost exclusively looter shooters.
Yeah, lots of
Destiny, Borderlands 3. Yeah, mostly Destiny, like a lot of Destiny. And then he every once in a while breaks into something else. Like he had some stuff from Cube World. He did stuff for God, what was the other game I just saw him recently play? He was playing Minecraft with everybody. And then he has his own talk show and everything too. But I mean, Destiny is predominantly like the biggest thing he plays.
Well, looter shooters and FPSs, it's really more of a nuance in the difference. They both use FPS mechanics.
Well, yeah, they're still really similar. That's the thing I was trying to get at. Like, you know, as cores, they're still like very similar.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, yeah. But it's different. I think it's something different. Shroud moving over, like, definitely is going to boost that battle royale, especially on like the PUBG side, because I think he's still playing more PUBG than anything. Whereas Ninja focuses on Mixer. I mean, not Fortnite. Why am I saying Mixer? Fortnite.
And the good thing about King Gotham Line, I feel like he'll actually like bring up like the smaller streamers too. So that's one positive I can say.
Yeah, like community wise, I think King Goliathan fits the best in terms of that, because he's always trying to help out smaller streamers, especially in the game categories.
That's probably one of the main reasons we went with the Mixer too, because that would be like his coup de grace.
Basically,
the whole thing's small.
Yeah,
he else brings that up, man. That probably be like, woo. Probably frame it and put it on his wall. Let's be honest.
Now, a lot of the other stuff that we were seeing in terms of the news wise has been pretty much a lot of other streamers who are people speculating who's going to be the next pullover to Mixer. Like who's going to be that next one, because they're not just gunning for a couple of them. I think they're talking to a lot of people.
I'm more curious in who's going to jump in the Twitch vacuum.
Right? Like
with them gone, who's going to pick up their slack for Twitch? Who's Twitch going to promote? Who's going to end up finding that niche that, you know, just so happened to migrate out to Mixer?
Oh, and that was actually the other thing too. Going back to Shroud for a second, if people who were subscribed to Shroud actually got a notification today saying that Twitch will give them one free subscription to any channel they want for free if they were currently subscribed to Shroud. And I'm wondering, like King Goliathan's thing or Goth Alliance things is actually the newest set of news. So I'm wondering if we'll see something like that here soon too with that. But rumors. What are the rumors? What are you guys hearing about? What streamers do you think will be the next one to go over to Mixer at this point?
I feel like anyone in that kind of like battle royale FPS kind of crowd will really fit well.
Did Tfue already go?
Nah, Tfue has to be exclusive to Twitch because of TSM.
And then you just see him just
or
drop.
not Tifu. Well,
We know the whole
Tifu's
FaZe
individual.
clan's probably gonna go on Mixer next. That's my.
Well, he's not part of FaZe anymore.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's one. It's either gonna be Tfue or FaZe clan's gonna go to Mixer. That's my prediction. Just to piss off the
clan.
other.
That's a lot of people to go over to. I mean, if FaZe clan did it, but I don't think Mixer could afford FaZe clan. FaZe clan is expensive.
I'm pretty sure FaZe clan is gonna start, selling on the cheap. Okay,
if they can afford Ninja and Shroud, they can't afford FaZe.
But it's not just one person though. Like Ninja, it's a $2 million deal, but they're going to be like a $2 million a player, and it's not a small team by any means.
I've read a few of their contracts. I'm pretty sure only a couple of them will be getting that full paycheck.
Well, yeah, of course. But and then of course we had the like.
So I think it would work out for them. I think FaZe would be like, yeah, let's do this.
Maybe if the money's right. Hey, they'll do it. Tim the Tatman also was kind of like hinting at that a little bit on his stream the other night. He was like, "You never know. Somebody could be talking about it as he drinks his drink."
As you said, I'm sure he's talking to Mixer, but I think he's just trolling.
Well, Ninja's already been trying to pull him over ever since he moved over there too. Like he's been poking at him a couple times. Even at one point, even Ninja, like I think he even poked Mixer's like, "Hey, look at Tim the Tatman and Dr. Lupo. Bring my boys over."
Yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna be something else.
But yeah, I assume at some point, like one of them, maybe both of them will move. We'll see a lot more Fortnite streamers, and a lot of these FPS guys go over to Mixer.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of potential there for other streamers to go over there, and if they're really like wanting to put the money in and bring all these big communities over, I mean it's not just the streamers, right? Like King Goliath and Gothline has a lot of he has a big community overall. Like he's not just a big streamer, he's really big in his community. And Shroud is a little bit different. He's a little bit more on the solo level. Like he has a community behind him also, but are a big following and everything, but not the same level of like an actual like sit down community. Like he's gonna play with the people in the group and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, people watch Shroud just to see skill. Pretty much.
And Shroud's good. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Well, while Mixer is attracting good personalities, and we're talking about who could go over next, I think the big underlying issue is how's Mixer going to cultivate organic growth after this? So they focus too much on grabbing big names and established communities. Are they actually going to be able to lay the groundwork for somebody to organically grow on their platform, or are they just going to be the jump to?
Well, they do, right? Like they do the up and coming section. They do feature random people every so often. Like their cartwheel of I think it's six streams at a time on their main page. Like definitely goes through most of their partners, but it also does some other people on the random. Has an up and coming section, and it does.
Are those staying up to date though? Are they? Like,
oh yeah, they're random all the time, so they definitely come up a lot. They have a few things that'll help you find like new streamers, but the thing that worries me the most, at least in terms of the streamer stuff or the Mixer stuff, is the fact that there's still right now more hours streamed on Mixer than there is watched, which is concerning.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like they're grabbing people that stream a lot, but are they grabbing people that can grow their channels?
Yeah, that's what I don't know. And of course, we're obviously going to see another big wave of everybody, wanting to move to Mixer and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, I was the same thing. Like I've been wanting to actually legitimately give Mixer a try for a bit, and I love the platform.
I tried it for a few weeks on our network. It wasn't that bad, I probably just picked a bad time slot personally, but I was playing Apex on it for a few weeks and it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, like the shooters do really well on it. Some of the variety stuff is the thing that suffers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my big issue. Like I feel like King Gothline, he'll kind of help out variety a little bit, but not much because he is, caters to that FPS looter shooter kind of genre too. And a lot of these big names that they're grabbing cater to that, which is like, to me, like that's Mixer's specialty. But like for variety, they're really, really suffering. And I feel like it's going to make them kind of suffer more in variety. So it'll be interesting to see like Twitch's response to this, as Hendo alluded to, and see like how they like if they will bring up other streamers and how they do it. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. I hope they do. I hope Twitch just doubles down on like, know what? Fine. Go to Mixer. We're gonna promote this dude. Forget you.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, at some point, like there's gotta be some kind of Twitch executive that's wondering, why are we losing so many streamers to Mixer? I mean, not only like just think of Shroud and King of the Lion alone. like just those two guys, and then tag on Ninja if you want to before when he was still on Twitch. Those three combined were still probably pulling in $1 million or more a month, easily between those two. And King Gothlion too, probably the same thing, probably another, at least a couple 100,000 a month, easily. Like these are all like big name streamers that are getting paid a lot of money every month from just subscriptions and donations and everything else alone. That's a lot of money that they're losing.
Yeah,
a ton of money. Somebody from Amazon at that point probably gonna step in and be like, "Hey guys, you need to figure out what you're losing money over. Like, what does Microsoft have that you guys don't?"
Yeah, continue, pull up. Sorry.
That was essentially it. It's like Amazon's probably going to step in at this point and say, let's have a review, Twitch. Like, what are you doing wrong? Like, how are you losing so many people? How many, like, content creators are you going to lose before you need to change?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different things they could do, of course. There's a lot of, the tools and features like that, things to help some of these other streamers. But these big names are obviously a little bit harder. Like, they're a little bit more fragile, I think, to kind of, like, do stuff where either they can help them out a lot and put some money into it, or they're just going to be like, well, I mean, or they're not, or they're going to go silent and not do anything. I mean, I have a feeling they might even just go silent, just say, fuck it. If they're gone, they're gone. Fuck them.
All I'm saying to the Twitch, don't go back to the double standard days. Don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, that's also true too, right?
Help you. It won't help you. I'll tell you right now, it's one of the reasons why a lot of people are going to watch Mixer. Now, the reason why people are going to streamer, there's a disconnect. I'm telling you, Twitch, don't go back to the old ways.
Yeah. Keep growing. Definitely keep growing. Update your TOS while you're at it too.
And enforce stuff equally across the board.
Yeah.
Just enforce it equally across the board.
Another thing too is Mixer is putting a lot of money behind like these contracts, and I highly doubt that Twitch like has this. I mean, they could put a lot of money behind their contracts. They definitely have the resources for it, but I feel like they definitely don't. Like, especially not on the level of Mixer.
Yeah. No, definitely not. I mean, in reality, I think Twitch makes a stupid amount of money from streamers.
Yeah.
And they definitely don't put a fraction of that back into it, except for maybe TwitchCon.
And not to mention their Amazon kickback since the merger.
Yeah. I mean, and of course in Amazon too. I mean, that's another thing, right?
They got the Amazon backing them too. It's like they really need to like double down and put more money on the platform.
Oh, absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. So going on to our next segment, we've got BlizzCon watch this year. We got a lot of stuff that's potentially leaked. Sopleb, you want to talk about those?
I don't really know all that much about it, but sure. Looks like Diablo 4 leaked via an artwork listing on a German magazine, GameStar. I mean, kind of excited to be honest about Diablo 4. Been following Diablo since the original, and really looking forward to what this really brings to the table beyond just what they already have with Diablo 3.
Yeah, I mean, Diablo 3's grown a lot in the past few years too. I mean, it was kind of bare bones in the beginning, and I think the first like 6 months of the game, it was just the base game, and everybody's kind of breezing through it and breezing through their characters. And once they got their builds down, like it was like lock, stock, ready, go. I mean, see, same thing that people do in the seasons, right? Like the first 3 days, they're max level because they know how to breeze through everything. And that's the kind of the thing that I don't know. Maybe it's just me and Diablo, but man, like. I started falling asleep in the first Diablo when you play by yourself. That's for sure. That's just me.
Diablo 2 was my favorite.
Yeah. Diablo 2 was a good one.
Yeah, we used to set up little LAN parties in our offices and stuff and play.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's been like that rumor for a while that they're going back to like the dark kind of tones and styles of Diablo 2, which a lot of people really loved. Like even this art book kind of like hints and teases that they're doing it, because Diablo 3 was kind of like it was like mature rated. There was blood and gore, but it still had that cutesy kind of Blizzard feel and look to it. So
it felt like Warlords of Draenor, to be honest with you. That's what it kind of felt like. It's supposed to be dark, the orcs are coming, but there's hope.
Yeah,
it's like no.
And here's the
everything's supposed to be screwed.
Here's that image we're talking about, where you can see the kind of the leak of the whole thing's here in the chat.
There's also like a rumor going around from this leaker named Metro. He's like a pretty credible leaker that's leaked like Blizzard stuff in the past, and he says that there's supposed to be a Diablo 2 remaster announced at BlizzCon as well.
Now,
that would be pretty cool.
It's cool they're remastering some of these, but where the hell is my Warcraft 3 remaster that's supposed to be out like a year ago now? Like, I pre-ordered that.
I'm not buying either, but I'm with Shifter on this.
Like, I pre-ordered that one last year, I believe, and it's still not out yet. Like, it was supposed to be out in like May or April, or May or June.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out in time for my 30th. Yeah. I remember we were talking about.
I thought it was supposed to come out in November sometime. That's what originally they were projecting.
Oh, was it November? Oh man, but yeah,
always November.
I think they announced it in the spring. I think that's what we're thinking, Shift. They announced it in May.
They did announce at the beginning of the year, like in the spring. But with Blizzard, you can always expect to see releases in November. That's just their release month, or December even.
Maybe, yeah.
We've got BlizzCon next week, so hopefully we'll get some news on that.
That's what I'm hoping.
It's gonna be BlitzCon. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's gonna get blitzed.
Speaking of BlizzCon,
did they ever do the beta? Like, I'm seeing that there was supposed to be a beta early 2019, but I don't think I ever saw it. Did you all see that? Like, was there ever?
I saw if you're talking about Warcraft, I saw screenshots. I never saw like an actual beta.
They might have baited it to like some of their
Yeah, I was gonna say I think there's like an exclusive kind of like alpha or beta or something, but not like a public one.
They probably alphaed it
try and check
to like the WCS winners of StarCraft and like some of the high-end StarCraft players so they can get the feedback, because I mean that's what really matters for them, is making another product line that can actually make them money, in that sense of having people just have a championship around Warcraft.
Yeah, it looks like they did have a beta, but it was really exclusive.
Yeah, and then like on the Blizzard thing is Warcraft 3 Reforged beta access. This is the person asked, how do I sign up for the beta? This is their response was, there's currently no public beta version of Warcraft 3 Reforged. For a chance of being selected.
You muted.
Oh. Yeah, you muted in Discord.
Whoops.
I was like, is that me?
No, I hit back or forward on the key and it messed it up. Sorry. There's currently no public beta version of the Warcraft 3 Reforged. For a chance of being selected, if the beta becomes available, make sure the Warcraft is checked on the beta profile settings in your account. So at the time, this was like 9 months ago. Like, so January, February timeframe when that was even announced. That's pretty wild. I really wish that would come out, because that's one of my favorite childhood games.
Seems like they're trickling out invites like really, really slowly.
But I mean, at the same time, everybody's kind of in the whole like Fleck Blizzard, right now with everything else.
Very true.
Like this BlizzCon's gonna be real interesting. Like they either do something to help the fans out a little bit, or or riot basically at this point.
It's funny because they do have some great announcements coming that are planned that got leaked, of course, like the next one.
Go for it.
Yeah, okay. So the next big announcements that got leaked, according to ESPN, sources close to them, they say that Overwatch 2 is coming, and it'll be playable at BlizzCon. So with Overwatch 2, supposedly it's going to have like a whole PvE story section in the game as well, in addition to like the multiplayer. And there's going to be like selectable like hero talents that you actually like pick and choose for each hero. And it's just really weird. I think a lot of people are kind of like, what's the purpose for Overwatch 2? Like, why do we even need an Overwatch 2?
That's kind of where I was at with it. Like, why do we need another Overwatch? Like, really? Because they've been treating Overwatch as a game as a service anyway. Like, they release new heroes, they release new stuff, new maps, new modes, new random stuff. Like, why not just expand on the base game instead of making people, split your audience basically from the original Overwatch to this? Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, like I could see like kind of like a spin-off that's just like PvE story stuff. But this is straight up just Overwatch 2. It's going to have like new multiplayer modes and everything like that. There's also a rumor swirling around that Overwatch 1, the first one, will go free to play, which makes a lot of sense. But it's just kind of like, I feel like that almost, like, we don't know much about it yet, but I just feel like that concept alone kind of devalues Overwatch 2 to me. Like, if Overwatch 1 is free to play it, like that's kind of like a portion that's already of Overwatch 2 that is free to play. It's kind of like, why buy it other than the single player story mode or whatever? But
all right, and aren't they in the middle? Aren't they in the middle of an Overwatch League season right now too?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, why?
Yeah.
It's really just a question. Why?
Even like reading through this article, I'm thinking like why, but I'm sure we'll know more when BlizzCon rolls around.
So apparently there might actually be some possibility of Blizzard and Mixer making a deal for their media rights. Looks like broadcast media rights. Yeah.
Oh crap!
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's in that same ESPN link as well.
Yeah, I
in
see.
The last part.
That's interesting considering that Twitch has it right now. Like they have their all emotes and discount section and all that stuff built into Twitch right now. That's going to be interesting if they do that.
Wow. See, that would be I feel like a really significant move, like that kind of drifts away from like the whole FPS looter shooter stuff.
Yeah.
And also,
really cool.
they're targeting the perfect game with the correct demographic. WoW, Blizzard still is a predominantly young crowd. They bring in young people. It's a gateway game.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Basically.
So parents are not going to have an issue switching over the Mixer. They're going to be like, oh, you need to be on Mixer now. Cool, here you go. Click, bye. Hence why loot boxes became such an issue for many countries. Because parents don't care. They're like, oh, you need to go to Mixer instead of Twitch. We got.
That broadcasting deal was also $90 million with Twitch. That's crazy.
Oh.
So yeah, BlizzCon is
Blizzard, give me 90 million. You can broadcast on my channel all day exclusively for the rest of my damn life.
So BlizzCon is next Friday and Saturday. It'll be really interesting to see the shit show that it is with all the protests and everything going on. But it'll also be interesting to see if all this news and all these announcements could kind of like salvage it in a way, because I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
I doubt their products are going to salvage their reputation.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm skeptical at this point.
Because if it was a thing about a crappy game mechanic, yeah, this is more of an ideological disagreement, which is a lot trickier of a wicket for companies.
Oh, absolutely.
To be honest,
a company could come out with a cure of cancer tomorrow, but if they did messed up shit the day before, people are going to be like, we'll wait till third party develops their
to be honest, I'm kind of interested in what's going to happen with BlizzCon, because they never really check your BlizzCon badges, your passes, so you can get in with like previous year's badges. So I'm kind of curious, like how that's going to affect. Like, is there going to be riots at BlizzCon? I'm just curious to see what's going on.
Security might be cracked down. We might get like a police con.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure they're like beefing up on security for this BlizzCon just because of they couldn't have not heard about all the protests and everything that's going to be happening at BlizzCon.
Oh, imagine if somebody comes in, they try to deny access for somebody wearing a Free Hong Kong shirt.
Oh,
that'd be like cream of the crop right there, and I bet they would.
Local
do it too.
news networks would have a field day.
Oh yeah, easy.
Whenever like something crazy goes on at a convention, local news networks always show up. It may not be national, but the locals will show up. Fox 2 will be there. CBS 20 WFRK 2715 will be there.
Yep. So going on to the next news, this one's pretty interesting too. So we heard about the former Xbox exec Mike Ibarra announced his departure a few weeks ago, and then ever since then, he's actually, if you look at his Twitter timeline, it's kind of interesting because it does nothing but post about Blizzard products.
Yeah, I noticed.
Next thing you know, that guy comes up as the executive VP and GM at Blizzard, and like to me, that was actually kind of a big move. Like, what? Picking up Mikey Barry, he was with Xbox for over 20 years. So you got to think this guy built his whole platform, or like a basis of work and everything at Microsoft, and then all of a sudden he moves to Blizzard. Not just he moved from Seattle down to Irvine too. That's really interesting.
Well, that could explain the Mixer talk.
Yeah.
Snap.
There you go, right there.
That could be the
top VP and GM from Microsoft goes over, and they're all of a sudden talking to Blizzard about an exclusive deal and moving it from Twitch.
Hey, let's take my past job and mash it with my current.
Yeah, he's been working there for 20 years, so that could actually be like a real thing.
It's exactly what like freaking Michael Eisner did with Disney. He would always send people to other companies for like a year or two and then bring them back.
Oh man. So that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, me and Tom were talking about, we both feel like Blizzard needs a lot of like just rework like on this executive level, which is really good and really nice to hear.
But who knows if their Activision overlords will let them do it. Like I feel like a lot of this negative press is actually filtering through from Activision to some degree.
Yeah, definitely.
Because like Activision has been a negative factor in gaming for quite some time now. In fact, like I think they're actually getting on borderline worse than EA is in terms of like how they take action towards things.
Well, Microsoft is throwing its weight now in the arena with Blizzard. Activision may back down or even start, correcting themselves a little bit because Microsoft's still a big name, And if anybody was to rein in Activision or EA, it would have to be somebody as big as Google or Microsoft.
I don't know if it doesn't have any connection though. There's no real competition or anything there. I mean, if they're going to the platform, sure.
But Microsoft could want some special deals with Activision, which will require certain concessions. Microsoft is pretty good at we're doing the long deal.
Well, yeah. They're all about long-term planning, ultimately. So getting on to one of my favorite segments of the week every week, Choo-Choo's weekly deals and cool stuff. So let's hear about it, Choo-Choo.
All right, so we got a pretty interesting week this week. So first off, we're on that humblebundle.com. There is a female protagonist sale up to 90% off. Games like Control, Tomb Raider, Hellblade, Life is Strange. So all the badass games with badass women on sale right now over on
Wolfenstein Youngblood too.
Wolfenstein Youngblood, yep. Over on that there Epic Game Store, the hated Epic Game Store. Wow, wait. Oh, this is different. Layers of Fear and Cube 2 are free via Epic Game Store. The link that I put shows next week's games, but right now it's Layers of Fear and Cube 2. And the Epic Game Store, of course, they're having their ongoing Halloween sale. Next week, there's going to be a ton of Halloween sales pretty much on like every site. And of course, we'll let you know.
I didn't need to put it in here, but the Steam's leaked Halloween sales coming next week too.
Yeah.
Later on this week, Tuesday.
Probably like the weirdest sale this week that I saw is there's a Lionsgate game sale. And I was like, wait, Lionsgate makes games, but it's all like their properties pretty much. And also games they have crossovers with like Dead by Daylight, like the Saw stuff from Dead by Daylight and Ash vs. Evil Dead stuff, as well as the Blair Witch game, Power Rangers game, and they have crossovers with like Payday 2, like with the John Wick stuff. So really interesting and weird sell right there.
I completely forgot the Power Ranger game existed.
Yeah, I hear it's pretty decent.
I've heard it's good.
Yeah.
It's like Street Fighter, but Power Rangers. Okay, okay, 20% off, people. You heard Tutu. This is looking good.
And there is a Calypso strategy game sale also on Steam, up to 80% off of games like Tropico 6, Dungeons 3, all the Tropico games, stuff like that.
Yeah, and Dungeons 3 and Tropico games are like super good, especially Project High Rise too. That's another one that's actually really good. I've actually played Project High Rise. That's a really fun, like really makes you think game. That definitely is good.
Tropico looks like really fun and wacky.
Oh yeah.
Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Dying Light. That game is still kicking. The game is like 4 years old now. They have a new crossover with Left 4 Dead, like bringing a bunch of like Left 4 Dead 2 content and weapons and stuff. And there's a really cool bundle going on with Dying Light 2. Well, Dying Light, the first one, and Left 4 Dead 2. If you own Left 4 Dead 2, you get the game like cheaper, like the full experience. The enhanced edition comes with like all the content. So that's out there. And lastly, which I think is the most significant thing, is over on Alienware Arena, they do like these reward giveaways like every so often. And right now they got one going on for a free month of Xbox Game Pass for PC. So the caveat here is that you have to be a level 2 member, and pretty much a level 2 member, all you have to do is just like create an account and just make a bunch of comments and you level up to level 2 pretty fast. So and that's worth it to play games like my current game of the year, The Outer Worlds, almost the Outer Wilds. The Outer Worlds is available on that, as well as Gears 5, so, and a bunch of other stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good deals this week, that's for sure. Like especially the Game Pass, like being able to play Outer Worlds for free.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell not? You probably play that in about a month, right?
Yeah, there's also like something else they're doing. I don't know if it's available right now. Let me check real quick, but you can get like 3 months of Game Pass for free if you just watch this video of the Outer Worlds. So it's like a random draw like raffle thing. I didn't get it, but you could be lucky enough to get it. So definitely check it out. Alienware Arena has some really cool like freebies for games.
Oh yeah. So this week, our top story is definitely going to be the shitstorm that is Bethesda right now. With so Bethesda decides to up and I don't understand where this comes from either. Like if it was a feature that people cared about, it would be different. But Bethesda decides to release Fallout First. It's a new subscription service for Fallout 76 that gives players basically private servers and like unlimited stash boxes and all this stuff. To say the least, it's come out in probably the worst state that the game itself has been in. Like it's more broken than the original game released in.
And that's saying a lot if you haven't played 76, people.
Like
this is coming off of the delay for the Wastelanders update too, right? With the NPC.
Which doesn't make sense. Like why the hell would you go and release a solo mode server that, by the way, should have been a free feature to the game? Like forget everything else. It should have been free.
Oh my god.
But I'm actually... Oh, no, go ahead. Sorry, Tommy.
The subscription service costs $12 a month, $100 a year. And they give you like an unlimited scrap. They give you a tent and a couple other things.
I think it's $13 a month, actually. Let me see.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, weird ass price like that.
It shouldn't cost more than my Netflix.
Yeah, it costed more than Netflix, than Disney Plus, a lot of these subscriptions out there.
I'm honestly curious. I want to see the dev team from Fallout 3, and I want to see the dev team from 76. I want to see how many people stayed between the development of those two games, because I think it's like 2 people.
It's just something small. Like so
it's
they
did Todd Howard and like 1 director.
So they're doing private worlds, an unlimited storage scrap box, which also is bugged out right now. It's actually eating and deleting all of your scrap, which is even more broken. You get a survival tent. You get 1,650 atoms a month. You get a Ranger armor outfit, which looks nothing like the Ranger armor, which also caught me off a little bit.
Yeah.
And icons and emotes pack, which probably next to nobody gives a shit about, especially if you're playing in a solo mode.
I feel like Bethesda made the wrong game. Okay, this is coming from somebody who reads a lot of lore. I'm one of those kind of guys. I like lore. I like stories in games. Okay, Bethesda has put so much crap retrofitted into 76. It's ridiculous. They should have just called the game 2276.
Like it's so the thing is, Fallout 76 was originally going to be the multiplayer mode for Fallout 4, but it wasn't ready, so they decided to pull it and make it a separate game, which is cool and all if they had done it right, basically.
Yeah, like they put assets from Fallout 4 and factions from Fallout 4.
Well, it's essentially an extension of Fallout 4. I mean, it's for all intents and purposes, it's built on the exact same engine and everything. So you would think with something with that big of a modding community and everything else behind it, people would jump on it, right? But when there's no NPCs, and then they're finally released an update where there's going to be NPCs, and then they got pushed out. Like,
this is the thing too. As far as like lore community goes and RP communities goes, Fallout has one of the biggest single player games. Like there are numerous channels on YouTube dedicated to just delving into every little piece of lore and side story in the thing. And yet you make a game that is so disconnected from canon. it like you pissed off all your base and the mechanics are shit. I don't know.
That's the thing is like if people think of it as another single player Fallout experience, that's where they're mistaken. Like
that's true.
Fallout 76 wasn't intended to be a single player game ever. It was meant to be an RP platform. That's why they took the NPCs out of it, because they wanted the players to be the players, or the NPCs basically, like other players to be the NPCs to go through and live this world and do all that stuff, right? Like they made it so you could have your jobs and all this other stuff, and they wanted it to be an RP experience.
There was that story that came out. I remember of like one of the players that was like at the starting area and helping other players out. Like I was really
and he was just there helping people out. Hey, like you go up this way, you do your thing. He'd help you out for the beginning part of it, and he'd send you on your way. He'd come back, do the same thing for another player that was coming out of the vault, and it was really cool. But I'm like, they go and release the announcement for the whole they're finally putting NPCs back into the game, but then they do delay it and then release this. Like it's like you guys are doing everything so backwards. Like if you had released maybe done this announcement and had more time to fix it for one, but made this announcement at the same time you did the NPC announcement, maybe people would be more inclined if you're going to try to go for a solo experience in this game. But why the hell should you even pay for it to begin with?
Yeah.
Like,
first of all, it should be a lot cheaper than it is, because like nothing on this list is worth it. Not even the 1,650 atoms. Yeah, that can't buy you like a lot of stuff in the shop I saw. Like you would need to save up 2 months worth of atoms just to buy something from the shop, like something significant. Like I saw like one of the armors was like 1,800, so you need to save up like 2 months worth of atoms just for that.
Yeah, it's not even $15 worth of atoms, I don't think.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And to be honest, you can get 1,600 atoms just by playing a month. Like, there's no need to actually buy it.
Yeah, exactly. You can play the game, actually enjoy playing the game. Well, you can't enjoy. Well, 76 enjoying is kind of not a thing, but
yeah.
And like the private worlds too, like at least right now they said you can't like mod it, which seems to be like a really big thing that players want. You can't even like mod it right now. It's really stupid.
Yeah, that doesn't.
They say eventually you might be able to, but like that's such like a I feel like an essential feature for like a private world.
Yeah, like that would be easily one of the biggest
just
things.
needs to burn it down. Just go burn down the server, okay? Because after hearing last week, clean up the wasteland, even though it's a nuclear hellhole and all that stuff. Like, I don't know who's doing marketing, I don't know who's doing development, but just light the office on fire and go run a new one down the street and start again.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen Bethesda be completely disconnected from players. Like, they usually give players pretty good run for their money, especially like Skyrim. Of course, Skyrim also is the meme of Bethesda 2 releasing an edition on everything. I mean, even Bethesda made their own joke at the E3 conference this past year. But yeah, I don't understand it, to be honest. Like, I don't know why the hell they even thought this was going to be a good idea, or who even thought this was going to be something that should have even been put in the game in the first place. Like, why are you going to go and put stuff that should be free in the game?
Yeah, I was like, everybody that currently owns, like what I would do, everybody that currently owns like Fallout 76 and has an account, they should get this for free. And like just charge like $5 like a month for private servers, if that, like this is ridiculous.
$5 with a little less atoms maybe, and then or make it free for your Ultimate Edition owners or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, and then they had the bag debacle about this. Like, there's been nothing good about Fallout 76 since it came out. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed it for the little bit I played it, but it's still not the game I would have hoped it would have been from Bethesda. Like, it still came out like super, super broken.
It's not a sequel. It's not a
sequel. No. It's not a sequel. It's its own standalone thing, but this is like not a good indication that they should ever do multiplayer in any of their games going forward.
I was just going to like my feeling with the game. It's just like, like New Vegas was cool because it felt like its own thing. It was in like the same engine, same world, basically. But with 76, I don't know. There's so much disconnect from the dev team to everybody. It's like there's disconnection all the way down.
Yeah.
It's like looking through a server and somebody like purposely broke everything in between. Like all the diodes. Well, just broke every wire in between diodes. Just screw it.
At the same time, like, I mean, Bethesda themselves have never done a multiplayer game. I mean, their only actual true multiplayer game right now that they have is Elder Scrolls Online, and that's not even run by them. That's ZeniMax that does that. Like, so
like I said earlier in the conversation, like, I don't know what they're doing multiplayer. Just go back to RPGs, man.
Yeah.
Just release some RPG titles.
Well, then could they even make RPGs like how they used to? Because even Fallout 4 came out, and that was just like
great according to you.
Oh yeah, but that's
Outer Worlds is doing amazing.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
Not
Bethesda, but it's an RPG.
But if you think who does
Bethesda needs to go look at Obsidian.
They can't
see where they screwed up and go back to basics.
Xbox owes them now.
So. Yeah, Xbox owns them now, so they couldn't do anything with them now. But I mean, if Bethesda was smart, they would have soaked up Obsidian back in the day, like after Fallout New Vegas. I mean, 4 was good. 4 actually got better as it went over time. I mean, it's the same thing with Skyrim. Skyrim definitely got better over time too, especially in the modding community and everything. 76,
even when Skyrim was like broken and buggy though, it was still like it still had a lot of like heart and soul, and it was still fun. Like Fallout 76 just feels like there's no heart and soul.
No.
Yeah, like with 4, the mechanics were good. The game was fun. It's just the story was just a rehash of Fallout 3. That was the main issue with 4. It's just like it's Fallout 3, except now I'm the dad.
Yeah. And then like the emptiness of the world is, with the no NPCs thing is definitely like the thing that made it feel so heartless and everything too. Like a lot of people didn't like it for that fact. In fact, like more people wanted to play with friends for it, but I think that was also the intention of why they did that, right? They want you to play with your friends and do the, play against NPCs or the bad NPCs anyway, the ones that are trying to kill you all the time. And it's the funny, it's the only thing that's even remotely like big and fun in the game right now, right?
Yeah, I think Fallout 76 should have went the way of like Destiny almost. They should have just did like a looter shooter in the Fallout world. And it would have worked out a lot better.
I was like, man, they probably should have gone free to play.
Free to play, yes.
Well, definitely.
I'm talking like mechanics wise. I think they should have just went like the looter shooter than trying to do this big RP MMO out the gate.
Like I definitely think that should be free to play now, and I think any big updates really should be free. Like if they really want anybody to play this, like just keep working on the game and enhance it. Do it. Hello Games did. Just go silent for a while, fix your fucking game, come back with strong with a good good bunch of updates, and then maybe you might have something. But like
do exactly what Hello Games did. Lock Todd Howard in a room for 6 months. Don't let him say anything to anybody. That's what they did with Sean Murray, and boom, you'll probably be all right.
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah, there's just nothing good about this whole thing. But yeah, I think it's about the news we've got for this week. But
some good came out of it though. The domain.
That actually, I didn't even go to that. So let's cover this. So, I mean, Bethesda did actually reach out and say that they're working on the fix for the broken sub features, but it still it shouldn't be a thing still to begin with. Fallout First. They didn't take the domain, and somebody turned it into a walking meme, which is probably the best thing that has come out of this entire encounter to begin with.
Domain names and memeing are just like the new thing for 2019.
Oh, absolutely.
On several levels.
I'm all here
for buying domain names and competitors all the time and memeing each other, no matter if it's in gaming, politics, just messing with your buddy down the street that owns a business. I've been seeing that a lot lately.
So the name, the domain was taken as falloutfirst.com, and then it's called Fuck You First. So the funny part is the private worlds. The shitty community has been begging for the ability to play alone in private worlds since before the launch of Fallout 76 Lite, like a Fallout game should be. We begrudgingly announced that they are coming with a game that's Fallout Fuck You First. If you're a Fallout Fuck You First slave, how you use your private world is completely up to you as long as we allow it, inviting up to 7 of your non-existent friends at a time, 8 total in your private world, to join you while you screw over with our pay-to-win system or completely play solo. We know how you like it. We know you like it like that anyways. All gameplay remains the same from the adventure. I don't even want to say that word. Mode to characters play at Fallout Fuck You First private worlds must be existing characters. So
even looking at that like player count, like 8 players, that's low. Like what the hell?
Well, like in an RP community, that wouldn't last. Like so how are you gonna do an RP community?
Yeah.
We got 8 people. You're 5 bards. I'm the bard in the local main. Like everybody would have to play like 18 roles.
Yeah. And then,
dude, that's not worth it.
Then you get to the scrap box. As a slave of Fallout Fuck You First Edition, you also pay for access to your own private scrap box. Use the scrap box to store all your crafting components. They aren't taking up space in your stash. Yay, pay to win systems. The scrap box has unlimited storage. Wait, what the fuck? Seriously? So no need to worry about picking and choosing when it comes to your hoarding scrap. I am actually really starting to get pissed more I read this shit. This guy like puts his notes in here as he's going. Then it gets to the tent. The tent is the best part. Easily the best part. It's not just your camping tent, it is the sex tent. Drop your new sex tent quickly to set up forward operation base when you're roughing it out in the wilderness doing your next adventure. The sex tent comes complete with a stash, sleeping bag, scrap box, cooking station, and even an instrument to help you blow hot air up your ass after a day of exploring Appalachia.
But to be honest, that scrap box thing, that apparently it's not unlimited. Well, it's unlimited, but the stuff you put into it just
Yeah. It's limited to the fact it just deletes it instead right now, which is the biggest problem. Then the lazy version of the Ranger armor outfit, which is not really the Ranger armor outfit. The icons, icons and emotes pack. Wait, this is a main feature? What the hell? And then it's like this stupid ass membership. The Fallout Fuck You First will be available as a 1 month waste your money membership where you can purchase a yearly cash burning pile for 36% discount over the monthly waste your money rate as shown as on the website. He's like, I will not link to this scam. If you cancel your slave membership or it expires, you'll still be able to access any microtransaction points you've received as resource stored in your scrap box. If we don't delete them first, cancellation will be effective at the end of your then current membership term and whenever we decide to stop stealing your money. My God.
Like when you click the link, it brings up that the Rick Astley song.
Yeah, it brings up.
Yeah, and it's definitely still up. So that is the best part of it, that it's still up. But yeah, everything in this thing is like just nothing but a meme, which is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it's crazy because like even looking around, like reception on Reddit, reception like from even like these big websites, like everybody is dogging on this membership. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's so
like, just thinking as a logical person, who the fuck thought this was a good idea?
Yeah,
like really, that's a legitimately serious question. Who thought?
It was the underpants gnomes from South Park. They came over to Bethesda and they're like, we got an idea for profit.
This is like a Todd Howard idea, to be honest, because he said, oh yeah, private servers are going to be a thing, but
he's the king of the underpants gnomes.
He never mentioned like how it would be implemented. So he's just thinking, how can we turn a profit on this versus just giving people like a server key and you guys host it yourselves. You can control what you put on it, control what mods you want.
That's how it should be.
This is how it should be, but it's not the Todd Howard way.
I mean, if it's because Todd Howard's like definitely like delving into this more, like stop, please stop, for the love of God, stop.
The like man thinks he's the gaming Elon Musk. I think he is.
He pretty much is, to be honest. Though.
I mean, he is.
I feel like he used to be. I don't know about.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not anymore.
I feel like Elon Musk took a few selfies with him on Twitter, and he got that in his head.
Probably.
Well, I believe he's still like the Elon Musk of like the gaming world because I mean, the Elon Musk of real world is doing the same exact.
Yeah, but not like.
The downhill spiral actually work though. They're not going up in there and like having infinite storage and breaking.
But he's not, he's not like trying to monetize everything. I don't know why they feel like they need to monetize everything in Fallout 76. Like, there's no reason to. Like, in fact, if you guys had just stopped doing it and maybe do just cosmetics and stuff only like you've been doing, like, you would make more money. But like, this just seems like a horrible cash grab. And I'm like saying, like, whoever thought of this, like, should be fired at this point, even if it is Todd Howard.
Yeah, I heard some rumblings that this is to kind of help funding for the new game, was it Starfield, and also Elder Scrolls 6, but I don't know the validity to
that would like they would literally expect pennies in comparison to the development cost of those two games. Like from this, like there's no way that they thought this was going to be a big money maker. Like people love Fallout, sure, but they're not going to pay for this shit.
I think somebody did think this was going to be a money maker, but I also think that person was stupid.
Yeah, that's somebody that definitely shouldn't be working in the gaming industry, especially as upset as people are getting about monetization features now. Like really, people are starting to really heavily like look at monetization features now, because when you go and you play 5 or 6 games you really like, now what's happening? You're going and paying all this extra money for all these different add-ons or DLCs or whatever. People are really starting to look like, do I want to pay for this or not? And that's a big deal now. I mean, look at COD for the first time ever. Yeah. They're not doing a battle pass in like 10 years. I think literally the
loot boxes, they do have battle pass.
No, there's no battle pass.
Well, they have like a system where you kind of go and you get like challenges and you like select those challenges. It's almost like a battle pass, but not. It's free though. It's completely free.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a battle pass, not a DLC expansion is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So not a DLC. They're not doing their like DLC pass. That's what I should have said. Actually, the DLC pass where it's like you get this and your next 5 expansions or updates for the game. It's all the new updates for that are even free, which is going to be a big deal.
Oh yeah.
So it's definitely interesting. I think it's a good start for them, but Bethesda really needs to stop with this nonsense. Like in fact, after the blowback from this, I would have pulled the feature, to be honest. I would have refunded everything and pulled this feature. But that's just me. Anyway. Any final words for the day?
Well, for the day or on this topic.
Yeah, we're getting done, yeah. We're overtime right now.
All right. Well, Nosy, if you look up, I'm just talking to the chat right now. Nosy, if you go look up the UK Child Commissioner report, you'll get all the answers you're asking for there in chat. We don't have time to go into that. He was asking about loot boxes and stuff on the international side.
Oh, gotcha.
That UK Parliament Commissioner story I linked.
I wish we had more time. I knew some of these other topics were going to take a bit more time than we thought.
I thought it was going to be, we go through them fast, but this was pretty cool.
On a quick 2-second tidbit, even though that report does condemn the loot boxes, it also throws a wrench in that whole game addiction determination bullcrap that happened last year. So if you guys do get a chance to check it out, please do.
You link it. Definitely link it to him.
Yeah, I gotta check this out.
You can relink that.
Yeah, I'll put it here in the chat. Anyways, as always, check out all the fantastic streamers here on INN, guys and gals. If you haven't checked out all the talk shows, definitely myself. I'll be actually on the channel here in the next few days, possibly playing some Call of Duty or Outer Worlds, one of the two. We definitely have Meta Show, Open Comms, Push to Talk, and also our show here. We've got definitely True Ebag, Mind One, Zanus, Tam Tam, Lizzie Fox, Galaxer Gaming, House Hendo, Adam Ryan, who's actually on vacation right now, and everybody else here. Definitely check everybody out. If you haven't, there's a panel below. Awesome resource to find all of your favorite INN streamers. And yeah, until next week. Anything else, guys? Last words?
BlizzCon's gonna be crazy. We're gonna be covering that next week.
We may even do an early show for that. We may even do an early show because I might want to talk about that one.
And as somebody who's very critical of almost everything in the gaming industry, I encourage everybody to try out free-to-play Destiny 2. It's actually quite enjoyable.
Hell yeah.
Definitely check it out. Alrighty, guys and gals, until next week, we'll see y'all next time.
The permit. I don't care if you buy a permit. Do you know how little I actually care if you have a permit? That he received no support from that. I think Boat has.
Yes, I do. Oh, I got some leaks for you.
Like simple shit like that. No, simple shit like that. If you can answer that,
I need to break in and say more original every week. That's a goal.
Do you really actually get paid for that? Because you deserve money for that last one. That was
I'm gonna.